Okay, if there's nothing else on this item, then there is an item here for the COVID-19 State Task Force update from Randy.
So I will just share with you where things stand on it. I think it was Friday, March 13th, that I received an invitation to be a part of this task force. And so it includes a wide range of people, both in the educational field as well as private sector, digital learning, kind of innovative educational folks, public schools, independent schools. Heather Boucher is heading up this task force, and it's intended to, at this point, go approximately 3 months, but it may continue. So there were 3 primary questions that the task force is supposed to respond to and advise the AOE on. The first question is regarding what resources do teachers need at this point to effectively engage in distance learning? The second related to professional development and training. What did we think folks needed for that? And the third question is regarding what does all of this mean for the future of education in Vermont? So we were asked to let Heather know what question we were most interested in answering and be a part of a subcommittee to address that question. So I selected the third question regarding the future of education, as did a lot of other people on the task force. It definitely was the area most folks were interested in. So we just got a survey today, and essentially we will start meeting next week and be meeting every other week as a subcommittee for some unclear time frame. So I don't know exactly what it means. I think it's a good opportunity to be a part of the on the ground conversations and to have a sense of what's being considered and where things are going. We all probably know Secretary French better than most. Given what we know about him, it's probably unlikely he's going to allow this to necessarily go without some shift in how we provide education. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. So I'll keep you updated as we move forward.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Randy? Melanie. For some reason, I can't unmute you, so you'll have to do it. There you go.
I have my own special mute button. No, I'm just kidding. I was just giving the thumbs up and it sounds good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Anybody else have a comment or a question? There's a question from Laura Grace Brown. Are there teachers on this task force as well?
So at the state task force, there's at least one, if not 2 people from the NEA on it. Yeah, we're also looking, I'm engaging in conversations locally to say, what about us? Which I guess I feel like it is, important to just sort of say that we are really starting to think about the work ahead of us and how do we figure out what school's going to look like next year. And that in case you're curious about whether we are doing anything or thinking about it or kind of sitting back, please know that it is very much on my mind. And everyone in the next couple of weeks will be hearing from me. All the teachers, I'm going to, teachers, administrators, be thinking about how do we come together and really think about what next year might look like with all the uncertainty of what's ahead of us. So locally, Laura, I would say that I am going to be partnering very closely with teachers on the work ahead of us.
Any other comments or questions? All right. This is now the second time when there's an open time for public comment. We set aside 10 minutes at the beginning and then 10 minutes now. And I confess I have forgotten how I can tell if somebody has a public comment.
It's probably best to use the chat box if someone wants to be.
Yeah. Don't see anything in the chat box yet, but let's give it a minute. For most computers, the chat box is going to be down at the bottom. In the meantime, I'll call on Ben, though.
Sorry, yeah, this is just a quick question too. Just following up with Randy, just wondering if there are any students on that task force or if there's a group that's specifically reaching out to young learners about their experience.
Do you mean the state level task force?
Mm-hmm.
There are no students on it. We haven't had our first meeting. So, I think that part of, I know one of the thoughts I have is, do we need additional voices here? It's just the exact same thing I saw Diana posted in locally. You know, who should we engage in conversations? And I think the more diverse perspectives we have, the better off we're going to be. I know that as I think about the work that we're doing locally, it's really important to me that we have somebody who is looking at the discussions and the thoughts we're putting forth from an equity perspective, someone who's kind of constantly reminding us about the diversity of folks we have in our communities, that another person might be always reminding us about the social emotional impact of what we're considering or putting on the table. Those are two, kind of primary thoughts that I have at this point. But I want to be engaging in this work with people who are ready to roll up their sleeves, think creatively, have the hard conversations, and try to be as comprehensive as we can with whatever plan we develop coming forward. It's, everyone sort of turns to everybody else right now saying, do you have the answer? What do you think is happening? We're all trying to anchor to something concrete. And none of us have any idea what's coming down the pike, which is frankly a very hard thing for educators. It's putting all of us out of our comfort zone, and we all keep looking to somebody else for the answer. And it's all here with us. It's all here with the collective us. And I'm excited and also nervous. And I think that that's probably an appropriate way to feel right now. So we'll see. But those are all the kinds of voices and perspectives I'm looking for.
I would imagine if you weren't nervous, there'd be something wrong with you.